So it was great to connect with various entrepreneurs from various companies, independent bookkeeping, companies that are working in the house cleaning services, small businesses, payroll accounting, as well as a public relations firm. And I was able to connect with them and talk about employment standards for small businesses. The employment standards provide the minimum standards for most employees working in regions, provinces around hours of work, leave, practices, family law, and employment, taking time off from work for parents. And it is the rights and responsibilities that could be a guideline to be used to identify the work practices of businesses and employers in terms of the standards that they are setting in. We were able to train entrepreneurs, and we talked about hiring, interview retention, as well as work tracking, calendar management, payroll, and taxation. It is very essential that employment companies, agencies are not just assessing skills and talent, but they are drafting their contracts that have a considerate tone, as well as they ensure that employment is following all principles of diversity and inclusion, staying harassment free. So we've discussed it in terms of creating a little instructional blog on this. Small business startups, large companies are foundation for growth of the economy, from local journalism to small software company or a real estate agent. They offer various essential services. Their many small business could include supply chain, food services, consumer products, transportation services, manufacturing, health and social services. Business that provide financial services are also an essential services. And one has to basically look in terms of ensuring that if they're hiring any employer, like as a consulting company, we engage with a lot of freelancers and we hire a lot of freelancers. So it is always good, if you're hiring sales teams, if you're hiring marketing teams, if you're hiring a lot of a flexible workforce, it is always good to look at setting the pause button and understanding in terms of what are the employment standards. It was seen that a pharmacy grocery store, and being open for 24 hours, offers an essential service. However, if they manage a store without any team collaboration, that can be open to errors at workplace. And normally it is seen that if somebody is just working in a very surveillance mode, and they are tracking rather than looking at doing something beyond monitoring and tracking, they are able to represent company information and data in a greater way. As an employee has the right to know, they have the right to refuse, and they have the right to participate. Employees and employees need to buddy up and create intelligent ways to reduce inconsistencies in any workplace, instruction handling, safety, accessibility, or even productivity. So it's always good that when new employees come in, they have to basically know safety and accessibility is one area, but it is also good to kind of understand what are the limitations that employees workforce has. And so suppose Morgan is a construction worker, and suppose an employer asks Morgan or an employees in construction to operate a machine, and he's really not knowing how to see, or how to kind of operate that, then Morgan has the right to know the blueprint, and he's also has the right to refuse unsafe work. So right to refuse is that you have the right to refuse unsafe work, including situations where you believe you are in danger of workplace hazard. Your employer rules are such that it does favor the employee, and it cannot fire or wrongfully dismiss an employee for refusing unsafe work or refusing to accept a work based on health and safety grounds. They can't be penalized for following health and safety laws, and also one needs to focus in terms of sharing issues with Ministry of Labor on 1877 202 0008 and make their voice heard. So that's one area. Then there is really an important need to write to know, and know that what is the kind of communication. Is delegation important? Is agreeing important? How much of agreement has to be done in terms of a job? And at the same time, discussing the job description with the larger team, and sharing openly in terms of what one has done and what is it that how are they closing a day. So for a call center operator, it would be really around call quality, and they need to focus in terms of how many calls they connected with the other person, what was the communication like, what was the real call quality that was there. Were they able to get through the message? Were they able to troubleshoot? What was the interaction time? Were customers feeling great and they were able to give a feedback in a consistent manner? And also just being able to understand if there was a proper discussion around special campaigns and special promotional offers that were being shared. So it's always good that there is an assessment done in terms of the feedback that is being given, and one has to share if somebody has the right to participate, how are they participating, what are the kind of concerns they have, are they following job descriptions, are they looking at all the steps that are there, or if there are 20 things that they need to do in order to be excellent in a role, they are looking at not reading those 20 points and they are still sticking up to the top 10 points only. So it is always good to have that participation level where the employment standards help small businesses understand what is the level of participation that's needed, and what is the level of engagement that is needed on a particular role, job, or a career. So I gave an example in my training about Lisa and Joanna. They have the right to participate. They also have the right to refuse or raise a hand and ask a question. And Canada is one of the most professional countries in the world, where Canadian economy is one of the most resilient economies. 59 out of 100 Canadians work on open policy progress. 59 out of 100 Canadians engage in shaping vulnerable industry sector. However, one has to understand what are the kind of work from home companies that are there, because there are a lot of work from home companies that are not professional. They are not so one has to kind of understand if they're following employment standards, and that is the level of right in terms of participation that any small businesses or non-profits or enterprises need to have to understand the kind of standards that are there. The third typical employment standards for small businesses, the right to know. Employees under ESA have the right to know about all details related to the job, such as the wages, the living wages. So suppose if it is a job that is dealing with a lot of retired community, it's good to understand in terms of what is the kind of communication that is there, what are the kind of living wages, the hours, the nature of the job, the qualities that describe the job, and also infrastructure, IT communication, and resource requirements for the job. The choice of words make a difference. Professional words set the tone, voice, and style, and also they help build larger policy and programs. Also, it's good to understand the legal implications at the workplace, the right to hire, the right to cancel, the right to dismissal. Business and institutions need to engage in collaboration beyond the transnational way of looking at hiring. Small businesses that keep thinking of bills to pay end up in deeper debt, as they are busy looking at any just business from a financial standpoint. But it is good to kind of look at focusing on whether they are able to communicate, and I think communication is the most pivotal area that needs to be looked at. If there is communication that is addressed, it is able to share the concerns, and also between employers and employees, the trust building process is built considerably. And then in the part three of my training, I have talked specifically about, vulnerabilities that are there. And it is good to look at those vulnerabilities and see, it is interesting to assess the background of the employer as well as the small business and, all the members of that community, and see, what is the kind of messaging that is being given out, what are the kind of instructions that are being shared, and what are the specific hiring practices. It's always nice to see the wording of the contract. Normally, companies that cannot draft words well are companies that are dubious, they are unclear, and they are not able to share their point of view well.